Hi there, and welcome to my weekly vlog. Wow, what a ride. Boy, every time I say that, I think, uh-oh, there's an echo. Okay. Technology is not my thing today. Usually is, but not today. I can't quite figure it out. I'll figure it out offline. So uh, I just stopped recording on Instagram. We'll figure it out. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I was saying, boy, when I took that, that's from a quote that I love, and that talks about, I don't want to arrive at death's door. Let me just get it and read it to you because I love it so much. Here it is. I have all these favorite quotes. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a well preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride. It's from Hunter Thompson, um, I think it's from one of his books. Um, Anyway, I just love that quote. And I'm like, wow, what a ride. And that's what's happening. So if you've been around, let me know who's here. If you've been around and following me, hi, Sherry. Hi, Terravia. Julie, hi. Yeah. Um, Julie says 2 more weeks and then I'm going to be at the lake. Nope, not 2 weeks. 5 weeks. So, more wow, what a ride. Here, let me do this. Let me show you the lake because I've been planning to do this in actuality, but I was there yesterday. So I took a photo and I made it into my background. This is the view from my deck. I don't know who's running the show, but whoever's doing it has my eternal gratitude. This is this is from my deck. Like this is my view. Oh my god. And so let me catch you up. But there's something really important that I want to share with you today. Um which I think I've talked about, but I'm going to talk about it in a little more depth. So, from my beginning of my journey, trying to find out about lipedema or what was wrong, then finding lipedema and lymphedema and all the complexities, it's been quite a journey. So not quite 2 years ago, um, I really got sick. I think it was underlying when I'm beginning to understand, and as delve deeper and deeper into the lymphatic system, that stuff can be affecting the whole system, but it can take quite a while to even see the symptoms of it. Anyway, I flew to South Carolina and my system broke, seriously broke. I know why, or I have a very good hypothesis as what happened and why it happened the way it did. It was like one of those things where it's the last straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing. That's what it was. A couple of years of real intense. Well, that's the thing about the lake and the thing about what's happening is that didn't look like I was going to make it. I mean, seriously, I really thought I was. that my last chapter had been we had come to the end of my last chapter. Well, guess what? Not. I'm still here. I said I was on, when I took this picture, and I'm thinking and talking to myself and saying, I guess they're not done with me yet. Guess I guess I have more to do. So I'm still here. Hi. Hi Julie. So good to see you. Hi Tina. Hi Becky. Oh my God, this is just wonderful, you guys. So I want to talk about Curious Explorer. So I have been to at least 2,437 doctors, as they're all trying to figure it out, and they all say, and I say lymphatics, and they go, eh." It's been quite the journey. I've had more tests than anyway. I don't know. Some weeks ago, I think as the move has been coming closer, and I feel this spaciousness. I feel this sense of having some space to do the thing that I love the most, which is to do deep dives into research and to the citizen science model that we use, where you are your own laboratory. Love that. Love that. Love that. I think that's why I know that's why I started to use it. At some point in time, I figured out I'm the one who's going to have to figure this out. If anyone's going to figure it out, it's my body. It has to be me. Okay. Which meant having to build a relationship with my body, because the relationship that I had with it was incredibly hostile. It's like I just had such a negative relationship with my body. It was a mess. So it's been years of building bridges. And um, I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, good. Thanks, Sherry. Sherry said we have to advocate for ourselves. That's what it comes down to. Some weeks ago, I'm not quite sure what happened. I just did a pivot. I love Friends. There's this great scene with Ross and Rachel and Chandler where they're trying to get a couch up this they're trying to get a couch up to Ross's new apartment, and there's a turn in the staircase, and Ross keeps saying, pivot, pivot, pivot. And then eventually, because they can't move it, Chandler says, shut up, shut up, shut up. Anyway, it's a funny Friends moment if you're a Friends fan like I am. But anyway, it's the pivot. Um, I laugh about so much of what happens, but it was like in my mind, it was like pivot, pivot, pivot. All right, already. Nobody is giving you the answers. I think it was when I started to have the symptoms. I had two surgeries last year. I had a very rough time. Lots of things. We brought Dr. Perrin over from the UK, which it's been helpful, but it hasn't totally cleared everything up. So I'm still, trying to understand and figure out how I can breathe again, because where it's affecting me the most is in my breathing. And so I'm having a very hard time breathing. And because I'm having a hard time breathing, I'm having a hard time with my mobility. So I finally said to myself, what the fill in the blank? Put in any swear you word you want. What the? All right. And it's the original decision that I made years ago when I decided to figure out what was going on when I didn't have the word lipedema, had no idea about it, nor did mostly anyone else on the planet. Um, there was Dr. Herbst, who was working on, at that point, she was more working on Derkham's disease when I contacted her, but she knew about lipedema. And then, there were some docs in Germany, but it was so limited. And I'm like, okay, what the same swear word or a different one? Um, I'm going to just figure it out. Whatever it is, if it's figure outable, I'll figure it out. That's where I finally got to a few weeks ago on what's going on in my central lymphatic system. It would seem that I have a major breakage, obstruction. They call it an obstruction, is what they call it. Um, but I know that there are certain things I do and it feels better. And there are certain things that I do and it feels worse. So I'm doing a deep dive. I also got involved with a wonderful chiropractor. His name is Perry Nicholston, who is got some incredible work that he does around the lymphatic system. So I started to do some work with him and his work. So that's a long, long intro to the last invite because the email is going out tonight. But I don't know, a week or two or three, I don't remember. I said, you know what? I'm going to do a deep dive. What's a deep dive? Well, I'm going to start looking at all the research. I'm going to start putting in place some citizen science check ins. I'm working with Siobhan, who's the queen of citizen science. Um, what can I put together? How can I test? Let me see how I can figure out what's going on. And then I'm a community. I mean, I like people in the sandbox. So I just decided to invite anyone who wants to join me. So Leslin and I are starting what we're calling Curious Explorers. What does that mean? That means we're going to be getting together on a regular basis. How regular, we don't know yet. Our first meeting is June 20th, which is this week. Um, on June 20th, we're going to get on Zoom. We're going to put out some information, and then we'll see as a group. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through. This is how I learn. I go through as much information as I possibly can. I'm an information junkie. Um, give me as much as I can learn. It's like I feed my system with the information. Then I process what's going on in my body and partner with something. What that something is my cognitive as well as my intuitive self. And then I look for answers or I invite answers. It's not even like I feel like I can't look for, but rather invite the answers. Um, okay. So if we're going to start on June 20th, which is, I think, this Thursday. And if you want to come on board, I'm doing it just because I'm doing it. And I decided to invite whoever wants to come for the ride. The only requirement is that you show up. And if it's not central lymphatic for you, whatever it is, if there's a place you're stuck, that's what we're really doing is we're looking at how do we get unstuck. That I think is the purpose of this. We may run a few months. I'm going to be taking some medical leave coming up this summer once I move. I'm going to be doing some very intensive um, conservative therapy. I found a therapist who's going to come to my house and help with it, like a couple of days a week, and it got approved by Medicare. Yay. So we'll see. So that's the journey. That's your invitation. And for me too, it's all leading up to our holistic approach. Our conference in September is going to be a wow, wow, wow. Um, like each one is better than the one before because, they started out being very informational and with experts. They're still with experts. They're still very informational, but they're really interactive. We work as a community. Someone has an issue, that person gets feedback, real time feedback from people who have the same issues. So we're really honing it down to find a way for people to get the most support that they can. So anyway, that's coming up, and I should give you the link. Wait, let me get the link. Let me give you the link. Here it is. There's still a couple of seats. We had a early bird special. If you haven't signed up yet, I think there are still a couple of seats left. I can't be 100% sure. You'll go there and you'll know. Yeah, let's see. Here's the link. learn.lipedema-simplified.org/lymphedema-event. Okay. So you guys, thanks for all of that. We're still in this together. When I started doing this vlog, I was like, what the hell? I talked so much about everything with lipedema and lymphedema and the journey, and who knew was going to lead here. But if you're interested, email me. The email is going to go out later tonight to everyone who's on the list because we have a nice list of people who are interested. Oh yeah, I forgot. We're going to develop, when, the timing, when we meet, how we meet. I'm going to be doing a series of watch parties, which is here. If you want to come, I'm going to be diving into the diaphragm, and which, because that for me is a problem, my diaphragm and breathing and what's going on with the interstitium and the fluid. So I'm going to watch that. If anybody wants to come watch it with me, come like that. And other people will be doing the same thing. Yeah, mostly we're going to discover together. And I'm pretty determined. And look at my view. I'm going to be doing it on the lake. I'm like so psyched. So we'll see. He thinks so. I met with the landlord of this place yesterday. Such a sweet man, just so sweet. And he does, that's what he does. He does house remodeling and stuff. That's his business. And so he's going to be fixing up and painting. And we went through and this color here and this color there and all kinds of things. So, and I don't particularly want to rush him. I hope my landlord here is putting this place up for sale this week. But by the time it sells and by the time they do the inspections and all of that, it should be just the right time frame. Okay, everyone. I love you. Thank you. And let's see where this journey takes us. And I'm so glad you're here. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Mwah.